Okay, good afternoon. We are live from each of our homes and offices right now. I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. Today has kind of been crazy already. I know everybody's battling different issues and concerns right now, but I just want to thank everyone who's taken the time to join me here today. And if you're watching on Facebook, thank you for taking time out of your day for that. I know, today has been strange with it being the first day of the stay-at-home order. And then I was just informing Senator Mary Jo about 10 minutes ago that Barton County did get our first confirmed case here within the last couple hours. So, that's created a stir. And our goal here today is definitely not to, spread panic or anything. It's just keep doing what we're doing and being smart and conscious and aware. And our goal and purpose here today is just to help the community and business members address some questions and concerns that have popped up and will continue to pop up as we go through this. We're all, have been working hard to understand the different options and resources that are available to businesses or employees, and just residents in general. So we've got some great guests here with us today to help us address some of those concerns. And please just be mindful and patient that if you have a question and we don't have the answer, that, we're going to work hard. We're all working hard together to get answers for you. So just be, mindful and patient of that. This is definitely a first for all of us as well. So as you're going through it and living it, so are we at the same time. So with that, I just want to introduce, you'll see up on your screen, I'm just going to start next to me up here is Christina Hayes. Christina is our CVB Director and Community Coordinator and Marketing Guru and Public Information Officer and all of that good stuff with the City of Great Bend. And then next to her, she just went black. Jessica, you went in the dark there, is Jessica Milsap. She is our Great Bend Economic Development President. And then bottom left, we have Kendal Francis, who is the City of Great Bend Administrator. And then we have Senator Mary Jo Taylor reporting to us from her office, and she'll be sharing some updates from Topeka. We did, and we still hope to have him at some point. Mayor Cody Schmidt, he messaged me earlier, and he is obviously inundated, and he wasn't sure here last minute if he was going to be able to pop on, but he may join us here at some point. So I think we've got some great people here to help us. Feel free to send your questions over here. Let's put them in your live comments. We can all see them. And then as we go, this is going to be kind of a conversation and dialogue. We've got a little bit of a format. We're going to start with Senator Mary Jo just to kind of get a lay of the land, and then we'll just go from there. So with that, Mary Jo, I think I'll turn it over to you. Can you share with us some updates from Topeka that you're hearing and seeing with the governor, and just, what we should be doing right now as a community and state?
Hello, Megan. This is Mary Jo Taylor. Can you hear me?
Hello. We can hear you.
Okay. I can't hear you, but may I go ahead and speak?
Oh, no. Yes. Go right ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to say hi. I'm in my kitchen at Stafford and trying to keep track of what's going on. We've been home from the legislature for now, and it proves that we can get done early if we have urgent things that are going on. I wanted you to know that before we left the Capitol, we did include $65 million in the budget, not knowing even 10 days ago how bad it was going to get or not get, to help with the coronavirus crisis. Most of those funds will be going for health-related issues, for the additional staff that the Department of Health and Environment needs, that the Adjutant General's office need, and that our local health departments need. And one thing that I do want to stress if you have your health, or if you think that you should be tested or things like that, your first line of defense is to call your county health department. They will listen to your symptoms. They will say, yes, you should go to our office, you should go to your nearest hospital, what have you, but they'll give you specific directions about that. And those, I did send out an email about those, but of course it's available. It's his county number. I want to say on the state level that there's several things that are going on, but all of the money that is coming to give us relief is federal money. It's coming from the federal money. So the Department of Commerce has been very busy trying to create their loan package, and they've done a great job. And obviously, you as a consumer, if you need a small business loan to tide you over, even if you're a nonprofit, there are some funds available. I do have to say right now, there is not money right now that is called a grant, so to speak. They're all low interest, maybe even no interest loans. You can go on the website at the Department of Commerce and find more about this. Or if it feels overwhelming to you, and you have a relationship with an administrator at a bank or a credit union, also be helpful to you in that. About, well, I'm going to just go back for just a second. As we all know, the president did sign the CARES Act on 3/27, and there will be money for that, for paycheck protection loans, again, so that businesses can pay their employees to stay and work in essential jobs. And then there's an economic injury disaster loan, and those are available as well. And those would be more on the small business and entrepreneurship website that's through the federal government. A lot of people ask me what's essential and what's not essential, and the answer isn't always clear. We do have guidelines that we all know that we're supposed to wash our hands, we're supposed to stay 6 feet away from one another and use some common sense. But in the governor's executive order, if you care to read it, it's fairly long, but you can connect it down to 4 bullet points, and that is that any industry that needs to connect one thing to another, anything that needs so connection would be like transportation, those sorts of things, gas stations, things like that facilitate that activity. The second bullet point is to distribute. I guess, again, this is if the supply house, a warehouse needs to get goods to the store, those sorts of things. There's all sorts of distribution cycles that are allowed. Manage public functions. And so cities have to go on. They have to keep providing services. Banks, insurance companies, pharmacies, grocery stores, those kinds of things are obviously exemption. And then the last bullet point, again, if you're just trying to take it if you're trying to manage that list, is supply. And supply includes manufacture, delivery, housing that's needed for people, and especially housing for people that are sick. This also includes, of course, nursing homes and those types of things. So those are the 4 bullet points, broad bullet points of those that aren't ordered to stay at home. And I think I've used about my 5 minutes. I'll let
That's okay.
Megan go on, and I'll try to hear if there's any more questions later. Thank you.
Yes, no, thank you so much, Senator. We really appreciate that. Do you have any insight for those filing unemployment when it comes to church employees under the Act? Are they eligible, do you know?
I can't hear you.
Oh, that's right. Those of you who are on the iPhones can't hear me for some reason. So we'll get her figured in there. Okay. Kendal, let's turn it over to you, and we'll bring up here Kendal Francis. And thanks everyone just for being patient. There's always technical issues, especially right now with the drain on internet and stuff. Kendal, why don't you share with us just, what's happening here at a local level, suggestions that you have for people, what can businesses utilize at this time, and just kind of what you are seeing right now.
Okay. Thank you, Megan.
Yes.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you too. So I guess I would first just start by saying that for the city of Great Bend, it's business as usual. Other than the fact that you cannot publicly access any of the city facilities, so City Hall, the front door for utility payments. Obviously, a big one is the parks. Those are all closed to the public. But that doesn't mean we're not still serving you to our full capacity. So I would encourage you to reach out to us via either email, through the telephone. We do have some special phone numbers set up to help people get assistance. Our utility office at the front door is still open in the drive-through, so we'll take payments and answer questions at the drive-through. You can also make your utility payments at the drop boxes that are provided. There is one there at the front door. There's one here at City Hall, and there's also one at the Dillons on 10th Street. You also have the ability to pay your bill online, and you can access that through our website at greatbendks.net. And then also we have an auto debit option so that you can automatically deduct your utility bill from your checking account. So those options are open to everyone. We do, like I said, we continue to staff people here at all our departments. We have made some adjustments so that we fall under the restriction of maximum of 10 people as a gathering. Technically, as a city, we're exempt from that. However, I believe it's our duty to lead by example. So we've made some adjustments in our staffing so that we're not exceeding that 10-person limit. We have made some adjustments for our emergency responders as to how they're responding to emergency calls, but those are truly in-house type of adjustments. So the service that you get from the city and from our first responders is not detracted from in any way. So I just want the citizens to understand that. You asked about what can the city do for businesses and for the citizens. I think probably the biggest thing is to continue to serve them and give them the level of service that they deserve, regardless of our staffing situation, regardless of the outside factors that are influence day-to-day operations. I would like to let you know that we do have we're calling it a COVID hotline that we're staffing Monday through Friday during business hours. That number is 620-791-5035. We also have a dedicated email, customer service at greatbendks.net. And you can find those on our website. And if you have questions, or even here on our Facebook page, I know Christina has been very good about keeping that stuff posted and up to date. I might just briefly speak to the governor's executive order, her newest one, 2016, which went into effect a couple of hours ago, actually. So it's the stay at home. Really, it doesn't change much about our day-to-day operations as citizens. Now, unfortunately, it does affect some of those that are deemed non-essential businesses. It does impact how they operate. I've seen some questions about what about online sales and things like that. I'll be honest, I don't know the exact answer to that. But in my mind's eye, online sales absolutely would be a viable option. The whole purpose of this is to is to limit contact and the social distancing. Well, you can't be any more social distance than doing something online. However, if you do have specific questions, there's two routes, and these questions have to go to the state, because the state is the one who issued this stay-at-home order. It wasn't issued from the county level. So there's an email, which is KEFF. It's Kansas Essential Functions Framework. So KEFF@ks.gov. And then if you go to the governor's webpage at governor.kansas.gov/KEFF, you'll be able to submit questions as to whether you're essential or not, or how do you become essential if you believe that you should be. Senator Mary Jo spoke to some of those exemptions. They are in Executive Order 2016. And they're also outlined in Executive Order 2015, and you can find those verbatim on the governor's webpage. That same one, governor.kansas.gov. You'll be able to read both of those executive orders, and it spells out who is essential and helps you make those determinations. So I think probably that's what I would have to share with everyone, other than to, again, don't panic. This is really not much different than what we've already been doing. This is a step to help flatten the curve.
Right.
The governor felt that, we as communities weren't going quite far enough, and so she chose to put it statewide. Yes, we do have a confirmed case here in Montgomery County now, but still, Barton County, excuse me. It's not a reason for panic. We're gonna continue to follow the guidelines and listen to the experts, do all the common sense things that everybody's telling you to do, and we'll move through this just fine.
Kendal, can you comment, and I see a question over here too, on the enforcement side of locally of the governor's executive orders? So when it comes to, I don't want to use the word policing, but I guess, just enforcing, be it on the business side or individuals.
I have not seen it written verbatim as far as the enforcement. The senator may be able to speak to this a little bit more clearly, but it would be my understanding that enforcement would start at the county level. That's where the governor would employ those powers at the county level for enforcement.
Okay.
We've had some internal discussions about
Looks like Kendal just froze there. Okay. Kendal, if you can hear me, you froze and we can't hear you. So it sounds like, the county and the state side. Can we bring back up Senator Mary Jo? Oh, there you're back.
Oh,
you froze and we lost you.
Oh, I'm sorry. But
that's okay.
I was just saying that as far as enforcement, especially on the city level, our officers are not going to stop you and ask you where you're going. At least not at this point. We're just asking for voluntary compliance. The things that you have already been doing. So.
Exactly. Let's bring up Senator Mary Jo along with Kendal and myself here real quick.
Okay.
Kendal, I know she can't hear me. Can you talk to see if Mary Jo can hear you?
Senator, can you hear me?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes. Are you able to hear me, Senator?
I am. I can hear you. I can't hear Megan.
Can't hear Megan.
Sorry.
You still can't hear me? Right.
I do agree with what you said. I think there's not going to be a bunch of law enforcement hired to make sure that people are doing some of these common sense things, really, that we're asking everybody to do to stay safe. It's the focus of the efforts are going to be to keep people safe and keep them well and help them move on throughout their life. But right now, I don't see additional resources to put more people on to enforce. And obviously, if you see some blatant thing going on, you as a citizen, you should let your local law enforcement know. But I don't think they're going to be driving around looking for things to arrest people for.
Right.
Okay. Kendall, I'm going to keep using you as my interpreter here.
That's fine.
Can you ask her? There was a couple questions off to the right here about unemployment for church employees.
Yep. I'll
and
start.
Then there's another one.
Senator, there was a couple of questions regarding unemployment. The first one, let me scroll back up to it. Are there any, as far as unemployment, are church employees under the new act, are they allowed to qualify for unemployment? Typically, they would not be.
Boy, that is a question that I do not know the answer to. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. There is one other one. Here's a couple more unemployment questions. Where can they get more information regarding unemployment? And then specifically, can substitute teachers get unemployment at this time? Can barbers or nail technicians file and receive unemployment?
My advice would be to contact your local unemployment office and ask that question. I know that some that have applied, but they don't know if they have it yet. I also know some of these small businesses that have, because they're just going to try to make it through this time, have gone ahead and applied for small business loans just in order to make it through. So that's really the extent of what I know about it.
Okay. Well, and please. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say, I know that there's, for the unemployment, one of the websites is getkansasbenefits. I believe it's gov or net. I get the two mixed around. And then I know that we've also got a couple links, about midway down on our Keeping You Informed page on greatbend.org that has a link for displaced workers. So, Kansas Workforce One, there's some information in there. So we'll link those to help that as well. I know that there are some salon owners that have started filing for unemployment. I don't think they've heard back, but that's addresses some of that. So we'll make sure to post that information in our post here later as well.
Okay.
Okay.
I see a question also asking compensation for quarantine healthcare workers. It says my agency doesn't have PTO or sick pay. It's my understanding that there is the emergency FMLA and paid time off
Right.
act that has come through those laws. So those, and I can have Christina post that information that we have regarding that. But I think that would be a benefit to many of the employees too.
I agree.
Perfect. Okay, well, let's bring up Jessica Millsap now. And I was going to see if Jessica could speak a little bit she's been doing a lot of research and talking with different funding options, be it through the SBA or the local community development block grants, how to apply. And I know she's had several discussions. So Jess, why don't you talk to us a little bit about that and what businesses should be doing and what they can be doing right now?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Because I can't hear any of you. So I have no idea what's going
Oh,
on right now.
so
So
you
I
can't
guess
hear
I'll
Kendall.
just run through the programs here. Okay, here we go. I'm
Oh,
going to first start with the CBDG revolving loan fund through the city. I have had a lot of inquiries. I've had their application. Um, I would encourage you to apply, whether if you have, I have the application form and the job certification form. If you send me your email address, I can send you all that information and we'll get it. Are we good?
I
I
can
hope
hear
you can hear
you.
me. Okay,
Yes.
I don't know. So anyway, I would encourage you to apply. And that one is the 0.5% interest rate with a 3-year term. It's a really good program. There are some qualifications that we have to go through on that. So just, I encourage you to apply and get that in to me. The next thing on unemployment, again, they have stretched those terms and qualifications. So if you are laid off and your employer is not going by other income, again, I encourage you to apply for the unemployment. That's at getkansasbenefits.org. There's also an 800 number you can call with questions. It's 1-800-292-6333. Again, they can answer any questions that you have there and you can apply. I would encourage you to apply online with that one. And they're telling me early in the morning is the best time to get on there because it's so overwhelmed right now. Then the other program you have is the disaster loan program through the federal government. That website, I have a lot of information here. That website is disasterloan.sgov. Those are loans for nonprofit and for-profit organizations. Nonprofit is 2.75% interest. Regular business is 3.75% interest. If you are able to keep all your employees and pay them, now I don't know all the qualifications on this, but I do know that if you are able to keep them and pay them through this whole situation, that loan can be forgiven. I have a webinar tomorrow. I hope to know more on that program tomorrow. So maybe we can do this again later in the week when I know a little bit more on that. That is for businesses that employ 500 or less. That is one of the qualifications that considers you a small business. Again, programs are changing every day. The loan application for that is very lengthy, but I encourage you to apply for it because you never know what program is going to be out there. And maybe your loan can be forgiven in the end. You don't have to take the money if you qualify for it. You can turn it down if you decide you don't need it in the end. But again, I encourage you to apply because it's not going to hurt you to send in the application. Another place you can go for resources is just sba.gov. There's a lot of information on there on other programs for the CARES Act or there's a couple other different ones on there as well. I'm probably using up all my time here.
Good.
Programs day by day. So you can check your governor's website, which ours is governor.ks.gov. You can always look on there and see if there's anything that's been changing from day to day. I hope that answers anybody's questions. I can't hear anything, so I have no idea if you have questions or not.
So I'm so sorry. I'm trying to now talk so she can read my lips. Gotta love technology. Sometimes it's fantastic and there's always little issues too. We put Jessica's email address on there. So if you have questions about anything she just talked about, or if she didn't talk about something and you have questions, email her at jmilsap@gbedinc.com. So, and if she can't, she doesn't have the answer, then, she will definitely get it. So there is definitely a lot of information out there. I can hear myself, so it must be coming in from Jessica's feed. Let's real quickly to address a question while we're talking about this. Can you bring back up let's see. I'm going to need an interpreter because Senator Mary Jo can't hear me either. So let's bring
Can you hear me,
up.
Megan?
Yes, can you hear me?
I just wanted to, I could hear the last couple of presentations, and I did want to add one thing. I think we've all heard this on the news that that the federal government plans to give a one-time reimbursement of $1,200 if you make less than, I think it's $75,000. What I was going to just say there that the sooner you can file your taxes, the better. That would be if you think you're eligible for that, because the only way that the government is going to know about how much money you have is if they have your tax return. That being said, because of the disaster or the pandemic that we're having, the tax extension has been lengthened both for the state and for the federal government to July 15th. So there's no rush to get it done. But again, if you think that you're the one of them that might be eligible for one of those one-time relief checks, it would be to your best advantage to go ahead and file. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. I am going to try to get a question up to ask Mary Jo. Leanne, I know you're back there and you can hear me. Can you put the question up to ask her what the recommendation or suggestion would be to a business who is non-essential and they're trying to make payroll? They just want to be able to provide for the staff and count on that income. So what's the best suggestion for non-essential businesses trying to make payroll during this? I know I'm throwing Leanne for a loop back here behind the scenes. So as she's going to type that question and put it up for Mary Jo. There we go. This is how we're communicating. I think she's reading it. Bring Kendal in real quick. Yes.
Is what would be my suggestion for a non-essential business trying to make payroll? Actually, I know some people that are doing this, and what they are doing is applying for small business loans so that they can, even though they're non-essential, they can do delivery. They can still run their business via mail and that kind of thing. And that way they can keep their employees paid and their business going, even if they don't have customers coming in the front door.
Okay. And Kendal, did she did say that non-essential businesses could do deliveries, like curb drop-offs at homes or something? Is that?
I have not seen that spelled out.
Okay, that's again, a question I've had. So some of our retailers, I've
seen that as well. Again, I'm going to have to defer you to the state and that either that website, the Kansas Essentials Functions Framework, or the email, because I would hate to give my interpretation of that.
Right.
However, I do see a question there asking about do employees in company trucks need a KEFF form? And the answer would be no. You do not have to provide documentation that you're an essential employee. If you're stopped and asked, that it's my understanding that they're supposed to take your word for it.
Okay. Kendal, while I've got you back up here, has there been any what I want to say help put out to our homeless population right now during the stay-at-home order?
I'll be honest, I've seen that question as well. And I can say from the city side, there has not been anything.
Okay.
Now, I know we have a lot of social services, different types of entities here in Great Bend, so I don't know to what level they have done things. But nothing has come from the city side, and I have not seen or heard anything from a county or state level that addresses that. But I'll do a little checking on that and get
Sure.
an answer back to you that you can get out to the public.
Sure. I see another question here. Do we need to do anything for the relief funds if we have already filed our income tax return? Based off my understanding, you do not. If you've already filed your taxes, they know where you are, they know your earnings, and so there's nothing more that to be done with that. Let's see. Yes, Heather, we will drop the email and website of where to send questions as far as if local delivery is still available, because I know that there are a lot of local retailers here in Great Bend that if that could still help some business, even if they're just driving by and throwing it out the window towards the door, I mean, that might be an option. So, okay, so I want to keep move over to Christina Hayes. I know Christina is moving and shaking, and there's lots of stuff going on in her area. She's been doing a great job keeping up with our hospitality and retailers, and I'm sure that she's getting the same questions from her retail group on the delivery and such, and is that allowed? And she's doing a ton of other things to just help motivate and lift up the community right now. So Christina, why don't you share with us what you're busy up doing?
Well, I think what's funny is that our theme this year for the city and community, really, I think it's a community effort with the chamber and the school district and all of us here together in the county even, is we were doing this Love Great Bend, love our community project that started way before this even happened. And I still think that's probably still a theme that we really want to stress and push for our community, because I think that's really important. Don't you? I mean, as a chamber
absolutely.
Leader, I think really we've got to share that love and figure out how to really express it. On the hospitality side of things, I am very concerned for everybody. Of course, the hospitality industry is barely breathing and they're still our front lines. And so when you think about that, hospitality has everything from hotels and lodging, food and beverage, recreation, entertainment and events, health and sports, travel and tourism, and that includes arts and culture too. And so all of that is such a huge industry, which I think we really do take advantage of, and we don't think about how important it is for the taxes to come in from hotels. And I mean, even just one of our lodges here locally said that in the last month, they were like $15,000 down on bookings for events and groups to come in. And that's just heartbreaking, because that's nothing compared to what our hotels are hitting. I do still think, our gas stations and things like that, where it comes to travel, that's actually hospitality too. I think they're doing a great job at being our front lines. I just think everyone's scared and worried and concerned, but this is where you just have to, what we've been saying all along, practice hand washing, do the things that you need to do to keep everybody safe and healthy in your family. I did see a stat that the state of Kansas, just in the last week alone for our area, we're down 46%, which in Great Bend area, that's like 15,134 people in just like a week's time that we've had the transition and not be coming through, whether it be with tournaments or different work stays or things like that. I think that's a big hard hit for us, especially since this is the time where we're bringing in all those tournaments that got canceled. And we're concerned for all of us. We already know that Great Bend has an amazing pull factor, and with the change in work duties and essential and non-essential, that's definitely making an impact as well. Mm-hmm. But I do want to say I'm so proud of what our businesses in the hospitality industry are doing. I've had lots of conversations. I'm sure you're proud too. And add to this if I'm missing something. So the hotels and stores and restaurants, of course, and gas stations too, because I've heard rumors that, coronavirus is spreading from the handles. Well, sure, protect yourself, be smart. But what I'm proud of is that our local places are cleaning those things. They're cleaning and sanitizing over the top. They're doing a great job at trying to make sure the people are taken care of and they can make things better for everyone. I was proud to our hotels, the people who do still stay, they've upped the cleaning for hotel rooms, but even breakfast, all those buffet breakfasts have to be shut down. And so they're starting to do grab bags so that the visitors can still have breakfast at the hotels here. And then they're continually giving the list that you guys have provided and that we're providing on what's open and what stores are closed. And I think that's really important that we continue to get that information to them, because even though it's very, it's not like we have a ton of visitors coming through right now, but those hotel people, front lines, need to know where to send people and how the hours and things have changed.
Right.
So I'm proud of them for that too. And I do love that we're all leaning on each other. And I'm really excited to hear from state tourism this week. We have a state tourism group that's going to be promoting and talking about what's going on and what we need to do to help this industry here soon. One of the other questions you had for me on the list was, what fun things are we doing? Of course, we're doing the bear hunt. If you haven't heard of that, put a bear picture in your window or a teddy bear in your window, because there's kids and families that are going out and looking for bear hunts. We did Chalk Your Walk this last weekend. I don't know if you saw some of them, but there were some beautiful drawings. I know outside the
were. Yes.
Things outside the as well.
People are getting very creative with their chalk.
They are, and it's a great time to do that. And I think we're going to be doing some other little things like an egg hunt, kind of that goes like the bear hunt thing and the Chalk Your Walk. And we'll do some other little small things on ways that we can encourage families to spend family time together safely at a distance. But I really do want to still stress that our Love GBKS campaign and our Great Bend Pride campaign that we're doing on social media, we're still going to put that in effect. And yes, I'm slightly changing what some of the things we're doing, but I think it's important to continue to spread that love and encourage people to, to spend time alone, but yet explore what we have in our community and see what we can do from there. A couple more things real quick. We're trying to work on tips to help our stores, like the selling more online things. I really feel like some of our stores are so unique and so awesome. It breaks my heart that they have to shut down. But I do encourage them, start using Facebook. Take pictures, do the videos. I think that's still, and Kendal said it too, I think that's still encouraged and still something that they can work on. There's a lot of moms at home that really need to entertain their kids. And and activities are really important. And that can be a life-saving thing to build a child's spirit up, but also a family in general. So there's items that we can not order on Amazon and do right here in town. And that's what I'm still encouraging.
Well, and I would encourage too, even if they're at home the whole time and they're not going into their business, depending on the type of business, still jump online, even if you are just at home with a baby or your kids, because you're still going to be connecting with the people that are following your page. And B, you're keeping some traffic on your Facebook page. If you just go quiet for the next 3-4 weeks, your Facebook page followers are just going to go. I mean, they're going to tank with the whole algorithm of Facebook and stuff. So stay on there.
Yes. And encourage people to, the new things that are coming out or things that people might need, not always just hand sanitizers. It is art kits and other sort of things. I do also want to give kudos to our city with health and safety. I think everybody's doing a really great job. There are a lot of teenagers that are kind of running around unsupervised, and I think that's something that parents need to remind their children that this is not a time to go out and cause trouble. And so, watch for that as well. Don't take your full family into the grocery store. That's another piece. You're trying to protect yourself, so don't expose your entire family at once. Try to eliminate that a little bit. I've already said this, but encourage, healthy hand washing. And then again, that love one another and keep it in perspective that right now, small businesses do need you. We all need each other. As Mother Teresa said, when you want to save the world, go home and love your family. And right now that's reality. And that's something that we really should be doing. One of the other questions at the very end of your awesome statements and things that you wanted me kind of some questions to answer was what to message me about. What do you need? Honestly, you can message the city about anything. I feel like Kendal and our city team are doing a great job at trying to get information out there, keep you informed. And I also feel like we have a great partnership going on right now with Eco Devo and you guys here at the chamber. I think I don't know, it's good. It's really nice. We've got a great team going on right here for Great Bend, and I'm really proud of that as well. So for sure, any of their city pages, you can email us, you can call us. We're here to serve you, and we're all in this together. So that's my tips for you.
Perfect. Okay, well, let's go ahead and bring everyone back up here onto the screen. And then we're just going to go through some questions, and anyone that has the answer and would like to chime in, do so. Kendall, do you want to relay that to Mary Jo, that basically if she's got the answer to anything, just chime in?
Senator, Megan wanted me to tell you that she's going to read some questions, and anyone that has the answer can chime in. So please feel free to do so.
Okay, so I'm going to go back up here a little bit, and then I'm going to talk to Leanne backstage here. Leanne, if you can put the question up on the screen so that everyone can see it, from Mary Hoisington. She had a watch party question about what are the options for those who want to stay home for safety, but their businesses are not closing. So, what should those people do? Be it, they're needing to stay home because they're just worried, or it's their health.
I'm not certain I understand that question. These are business owners who could stay open but want to stay home?
So I think this is a business that is not closing, but there is an employee that is wanting to stay home for their own safety. So for example, I don't know if this is a great example. My mom works for the Larned State Hospital, and they've adapted, but they're still opening and functioning. But she has several immune compromised issues. So she was able to get a doctor's note, and then now she's at home. So, but not everyone, I think my best thought would just be to address it with that business owner to see if you can work something out.
Some of that would be best addressed with the business. However, tomorrow, beginning April 1st, the Emergency Family and Medical Leave Act and Sick Leave Act takes effect, which, but like in your mother's case at Larned State Hospital, she maybe falls under an exempt employee, but
right.
not everyone would. So I would encourage those people to check out the Emergency FMLA and Sick Leave Act that was adopted by the federal government.
Kendall, is that act is what is helping employers? Because I have heard where in those cases, employers are just going ahead and encouraging those employees with any kind of concern to just go ahead and file for unemployment. Their job will be here when they get back. Is that act and the FMLA what is allowing those employers to be able to do that and not worry? Are those connected?
I don't think they're truly connected. FMLA does protect your job, just like if you were to take FMLA for maternity leave, or you needed to be off and extended for a surgery, your job is protected. You have the 12 weeks, but this is an emergency type situation that they're allowing these things to qualify for FMLA. But there is also a paid sick leave act, and I'll be honest, without notes in front of me, I'm not prepared to give out details because I would tell you wrong. But I'll visit with my HR director. I'll get all of that information spelled out, and we'll put that out on our website, and we'll share that with you as well. So
perfect.
That is something that employers need to look at. Now, any business is free to do more than the law requires, so they could choose to pay them or grant unconditional sick leave or whatever the term would be. So that some of that's on an individual employer's basis.
Right. Okay. Another question, if we can put that one up, about questions about to-go liquor sales by restaurants, typically not allowed under normal conditions. How is this being handled now? I saw on my own social media feed or Snapchat just yesterday, they were talking about how there was a restaurant in Russell where they were able to get like 4 margaritas to go. So I feel like that's where that's coming from.
Yeah, that's probably true. And I will say, Angela, I emailed you everything that I have in regards to essential functions and both the governor's executive orders and websites to go to. I can't speak to that liquor sales very well though. I don't. I know that there have been some rules relaxed in regards to that, but that's another thing. We'll track that information down. I think the League of Municipalities could guide us with some specific wording to that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I see Ryan Fairchild commented, and of course Ryan's opening a brewery here soon, so he's probably looked into it, saying that he's heard it's only for those who manufacture on site. So if that just means that you're mixing margaritas, is that manufacturing? I mean, I don't know. So definitely a good question. Let's see, what else here? Leanne, if you see a question we haven't answered, you can pop it up here.
Do you see Darcy's question about
yes.
essentials?
Yes, I was just looking at that. Will bigger stores with essentials be able to sell all of their inessential items too?
My answer would be
I would assume.
yes. If you're open for business, you can sell anything that you would normally sell.
Yeah, that's my understanding too. Looking back here at my list, I think that might be about all of the questions, unless I've missed something. But is there anything any one of you want to add or comment on?
I just wanted to say one thing real quick about the liquor stuff. We do have an amazing ABC agent for our area, and his name is James. His name is James New, I think is how you pronounce it. It's Nau. His number to be reached is 785-230-1887. And he takes text, so sometimes sending him a text and he can get back to you at a great time or a time that works best for him is a really good way to figure out some of those alcohol questions. And he's a great resource for our area too.
Perfect. Thanks, Christina.
Sure.
Megan, can I take a minute? Can I take a minute to shamelessly plug my Kendal's Coffee for Wednesday morning?
Yes, no, I was going to do it, so go for it.
I appreciate that. I'm going to try to do this Facebook Live as well for my Kendal's Coffee Wednesday. At 10 a.m. And there are more things happening in the city besides COVID. So I'll be talking about what we have going on in the city. I'll be reiterating some of this information. If you have questions, you can email me, kfrancis@greatbendks.net, or I'll be taking questions live during that time as well.
Awesome. No, I think that's good. I think the more we can just continue bringing people together and connecting and putting information out there and making ourselves available, that's going to get a lot of us through that. Absolutely. Kendal, can you ask Mary Jo if she has any final comments or things she wants to share?
Senator, do you have any final comments or any last minute words of wisdom you'd like to share?
Maybe now she can't hear any of us.
Senator, can you hear me? Doesn't look like she can.
No, so I feel like it's because those two are on iPhone. Muted. But I don't think so. Okay, well, oh, there she unmuted. Okay. I think that's about it. I just thank you guys all for jumping on and just, everyone and their patience as we all try to absorb this and retain it as quickly as we can. And on the Great Bend Chambers website, greatbend.org, we've got our Keeping You Informed page as well. We're trying to keep information on there, specific to businesses. There's information there for unemployment and displaced workers. And, we've got the city's website because they've got a page as well. So, we're all working hard here together, but please don't, reach out to us at any time. We'll make our emails available. We'll put some links up at the top of this post here later. For those not on Facebook, this has been recorded, and we'll be able to put a link to it on all of our websites as well. So that way, if you're not on Facebook, they can watch it via a YouTube link. So with that, oh, here's one last question. Since we've got, can you clarify whether residential cleaning services are deemed essential?
The best I could do would be to send you the essential functions framework. There is a list. I could take a minute and try to read through what they say is essential. But there's also the option to request becoming essential. If you're not listed in this framework, you can make a request to the state to be added and become essential. And that's on that website as well. So
right.
If we could take her, get her contact information, we could send her that.
Yeah, Chantel, we'll make sure that's that KEFF website, and we'll make sure you get that, Chantel, so that way you guys can file that form just to be sure. So Kendal, I know at one point it was the county or local government that was making those determinations. Is that now the state that's doing that now?
It's the state, because the state is the one who issued the stay at home.
The order. Perfect.
If it was from the county level, then it would have been the county who would make those determinations.
Perfect. Okay, so that supersedes everything. Wonderful. Okay, well, thank you guys all so much. I hope everybody stays well, continues washing your hands, and just enjoys the sunlight. We can still exercise and get out and take walks. So with that, I think we'll jump off, and everybody have a great week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Megan. Good job.
Thanks.